everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Suzerain, the Kingdom of Rizia DLC. Bit of a slow week this week with recordings, it's been a bit busy. Well, I say recordings, I mean streams. No pre-football streams this week, or stream on Wednesday. So I thought I'd squeeze in a session here today on Saturday morning. The sun is shining bright. It might dip in and out. There's not too many clouds, so my face will glow and fade as the movement of the clouds dictate. But yeah, so I thought I'd give you a session today, in addition to the stream tomorrow, possibly, because again tomorrow I might be going out somewhere. Not 100% guaranteed, and it's looking less likely than more likely, but just in case, I'll assess it. I'll know for certain by today what I'm doing, and if I am going out tomorrow evening, I'll get another recorded session of this up, because I'm trying to finish this. I was trying to finish this before the start of April, if I was being honest with you, but we just strayed over a little bit. I don't think there's too much longer to go, so we'll get this. We'll get pressing on with this, with some recorded sessions and streams where I can. Baldur's Gate will pick up once again in a not too distant future, with another LP to start after this is finished, of course. But anyway, in the last session, I think we did pretty well. The highlight of the session really was the ending, where we managed to convince our daughter Vina to not marry Maynard Sazin, but marry Duke Reinhardt of Parlay in a tactical move. It killed two birds with one stone. It brought us closer to our neighbour. It also ensured that we managed to kind of get our claws into Parlay in some respect, because of the kind of arrangement that we had with Duke Reinhardt. We also managed to keep our family line's name for Vina's kids, which this is all music to our ears. How did we manage to negotiate such a bargain here? And of course, it got the old Maynard Sazin situation kind of brushed to one side, because our family and some of the nobles weren't quite happy on our side of the water, shall we say. So we've hopefully managed to kind of just bat that away very diplomatically and very tactfully. The look of poor sadness on Maynard's face the next time we see him will probably bring us a bit of sick pleasure. But anyway, that was how we left things, and today we'll see what the next turn brings. But before we do, royal decrees, there's two that have kind of caught my eye. The king is trying his very best now he's got all of the infrastructures in place. He's invested his time and effort and decrees in the past to bolstering our economy, and we've got a very healthy surplus of cash. We've got a decent surplus of energy as well, to be fair. So his plan for the rest of his foreseeable reign, in the short term at least, is to then start to focus on the people, because the people are showing signs of a bit of kind of unrest with the monarchy. So giving back to the people and showing that we've got their best interests at heart will be surely good for the rest of our reign. It'll please Vina, and she's very much a people person, and she'll be very much a queen in her own right that follows in the footsteps of her grandmother, but hopefully me too, when I show my respect for the people and their rights and welfares to some degree. So yeah, let's try to get the public opinion up. It might come at the expense of some of the opinion of other parts of society, but hey, the people are more numerous. And things are changing, It's the 1950s here. Things are changing. The world is changing, and we should keep up with the times. Maybe even be trailblazers for certain things. Hey, again, we're all about putting ourselves on the world map, and sometimes doing certain things might just bring the spotlight to you. Hopefully not for bad reasons, but I suppose any press is good press, right? Even if it's bad press, it puts you on the map. Just ask Waylon. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at in a long and convoluted manner, in 5 minutes, in what I could have summarised in less than one probably, is a couple of welfare. No wonder this is flipping LP hasn't finished yet. There's a couple of things, decrees of welfare that we're going to enact, and we did debate about one of them in the last session at quite some length, because we're a devout religious person, and this goes against our religion. So it's a painful one, but we have to weigh it up with the rights of the people, trying to stamp ourselves as a kind of a forward-thinking, a place where it's good to live, that people are happy at. We can kind of push that when we come to our big AN meetings and things. So we're going to do it. And, at the back of our mind, we've got Parble, who suffered, and his people that he's been having fun with have suffered significantly, ended up dead, as a result of our legal stance on homosexuality. So we are going to decriminalise it. It's not going to go down very well with Grand Wiseman. We're trying to promote this holy kingdom. Look, dare we even think that, on this occasion we know best? As a king with religion on his mind, who's to say that I can't actually carve my own path for my own kingdom? My own religious outlook. Slight twist to the proper Ruises. We're going to just kind of offshoot a little bit. So we're gonna pass this. It just feels right to do it, And in addition to that, equal gender pay. Because, again, balanced economic participation, inequality, it's not good. We want to be an equal, free-thinking, future-proofed country. Not stuck in the old ways, not having these systemic inequality, these we've raised the status of some of our welfare systems to make sure that this place is a nice place to live, and I think these little things just to iron out will also help. So yeah, we'll see how it goes down. This one is quite neutral. People aren't, well, whatever, yeah, it'd be nice, I suppose. We're not that bothered, so let's get that. It's going to take a budget per turn, but we've got a big surplus. But this is the big one, isn't it? This is the one that's going to cause a scene, I'm sure, but you know what? Let's flip and do it. We've got the authority, and if people don't like it, let them come and tell me to my face. Right, let's see what that does for things. So policies, yes, we have decriminalised homosexuality. Departure from traditional norms. And we're quite a traditionalist, we're quite a historical guy, we're quite a religious guy. So this is a very, very kind of left field manoeuvre. Probably the kind of king that people would think would never have passed this kind of law. But sometimes you've got to be tactical, haven't you? And I think this is a semi-tactical move. But because we've kind of seen the consequences of this law up close and personal. It impacts a bit differently, as if that didn't happen, we probably won't be quite so interested. But because we've seen it up front, we've seen it close, we've seen how it's affected a very close member of our inner circle, it kind of hits home a bit harder. So it allows us to kind of empathise much more strongly with this situation. We'll see how that pans out. Equal gender pay law. It might impact the economy at some point. Well, it has. It's taken some budget, which we've fronted and not the company, so I don't know. That might be a good thing. Anyway, Rufus Gragg's royal gossip. All right, who's gay? King Romus' bold, some might say flamboyant, decision to remove Rizia's anti-homosexuality laws can only mean one thing. That the great outing begin. Of course, admitting one's affection for members of the same sex still carries a societal stigma, especially from Rumburgian expatriates whose strict Dasneurist upbringings would never ever allow them to admit that they find up-and-coming film star Rocco Huxon terribly fetching. But as the times catch up with the rule of law, I'm confident that all kinds of shocking admissions await us. Who will be first? Mr. Huxon? A member of the royal family? Or His Majesty himself? Keep tuned to Rufus Gragg's royal gossip, coming to a broadsheet near you. Palace dedicated to love. The palace has stated it is aware that the recent changes to the penal code regarding non-conforming sexual orientation have caused criticism, but has promised that protecting Rizia's traditional family values are not at risk by this change. In a statement put forth by King Romus, he said that his decision has been motivated by the belief that love cannot be regulated by the state. Some rumours are starting to spread if the king's private love life might have something to do with this sudden decision. Something we are sure Rufus Gragg will happily explore in the next royal gossip column. And gender pay gap becomes history. Yes. It is deeply unfair that women still earn less than their male counterparts for the same work in large sectors of our economy. We must salute the king for finally getting rid of this stain on Rizia's otherwise impeccable gender equality record. Queen Liza. I couldn't remember her name when I was talking about Vina, kind of following in her grandmother's footsteps. Queen Liza, the Great. We want to be known as King Romus the Great, so let's see what we can do to get to that status. Will we ever get there? Have we been great enough? I think we've done all right. I say in squeaky voice because I'm kind of thinking, have we? I think we have. I think so. My opinion. I'm biased, of course. We have finished chapter 2. That's a formal finish of a whole chapter, not just a turn, it seems. So we've still got some decent things to spend, which we won't need to spend until the next end turn phase. Or unless, of course, things happen. Right. Vendanazam Civil War Stalemate. We've put so much into this in terms of military equipment and stuff. I think we've got to draw a line under it now, surely. The civil war in Vendanazam evolved into a prolonged stalemate where neither side could clinch a decisive victory. Kanthapur remained under monarchist control, while Gara continued its resilient stand despite the ebb and flow of Rizian support. If we'd have put a whole 100% behind, I think there might have been a victory here. We kind of didn't put the whole kit and caboodle in. The drawn-out battles for Rakara and Penguvi became symbols of the enduring impasse, with each side gaining and losing ground in a seemingly endless cycle. In Tamaran, this deadlock played out fiercely, with constant skirmishes and strategic manoeuvres yielding little change in control. The nation divided and war-weary yearned for a resolution, but as days turned into months and months into years, the conflict became a part of daily life with no clear end in sight. Deliver a speech urging peace and reconciliation. Organise a relief effort for war-affected citizens, or ignore the lost cause. I mean, my authority has somewhat waned a little bit due to the old double whammy of welfare reforms there. Budget is less of an issue, so we'll organise a speech would be more powerful. Organising relief effort, less powerful, but it's something. So we'll go for that option simply because authority is an issue. It feels a bit odd. There's got to be a tactical reason for this. This kind of king will probably want to plaster himself all over the screens during a speech urging peace and reconciliation. So do you know what? We'll take the hit. It's more fitting. Imagine we're a very rich nation, so splashing the cash, I suppose, could also be an option. Flaunting our wealth. But anyway, we've done what we've done now. Vendanazam civil war grinds to a halt. Rizian king urges reconciliation. Yes. Urged to start a reconciliation process. Oh, they're unhappy. They're blaming us because we didn't provide them as much support as we could have done. Listen, we've provided some support, you ungrateful sods. You should be happy that we've done something. Now I feel like we've wasted our flipping authority on that one. You ungrateful swines. Grace is escalating its support for the monarchist forces in the Vendanazam civil war. We are deploying additional resources and providing enhanced strategic assistance. Right. Okay. Now I'm beginning to go, yeah, we should just give him some flipping cash. Just have some money. Any problems, throw money at it, it'll solve it. Clearly it won't. Don't take that advice on board, people. I jest. Money is the root of all evil, some people would say. Right, anyway, invest in new industry. With the industry... Ooh, -3 budget. Do you know what? We can afford it. With the industry on the cusp of a significant breakthrough, we stand at a pivotal moment to invest in a new high-potential sector. This initiative aims to kickstart a massive industry and create countless jobs. I would say that it makes sense, given that we built this port. It's all singing, all dancing, we're selling ships, we're selling submarines, that synergy, advanced shipbuilding would probably be best. Steel, we'll leave steel for Swordland. You know, sword is steel. It's supposed to be pretty dapper, isn't it? We'll leave it to them. We'll be the ship experts. Crown announces expansion of shipbuilding industry. Yes, and a major expansion of shipbuilding, no less. has been heralded as the economic future of the nation, and it is now underway. The Treasury has already allocated significant funds to achieve this expansion, ranging from tax credits to major businesses, as well as direct investment by the Rizian state. The newly expanded Monkey shipyard will play a key role in these innovations. There you go, synergy. The plans are expected to create countless jobs, as well as diversify our economy away from gold and gas. Again, that was part of our plan. I'm sure we picked diversify, didn't we? Way back at the beginning, we had to pick 3 options. Military stance, we picked neutral. Stance about economy? I'm sure we picked diversify. I think so. We picked Rizia, not Rizia, Rumberg and Valen as the superpowers to kind of cozy the countries rather to cozy up to, and then we picked. I'm sure we picked like absolute monarchy. Yeah, we're clinging on to this monarchy. All right, for grim death. We don't want to reform to more of a semi-constitutional, kind of like, we're just there as a token gesture. No. We are true economy, monarchy. In every traditional word of the sense. The king still has the power. Long may he reign. Port Drazen. Security Council meeting. Interesting. Still wondering what's happening with this whole Lucita stuff, potential issue with her visiting my father before he died. Very suspicious meeting. Haven't heard much about that just yet, so hopefully the Golden Guard will have uncovered something that we can challenge her with. There's going to be at least one more sting in the tail. This campaign is going far too smoothly right now. I feel like someone just needs to shake the apple cart a bit and knock a few out. As I entered the study, I found my father hunched over his desk, staring at a map spread out in front. We must be dreaming. Spread out in front of him. The scent of alcohol hung heavy in the air. The region of Zille, marked in bold lines, seemed to draw his gaze like a magnet. I could see the pain etched on my father's face as he gripped the edge of the map. This is a dream. It was the first time I had ever seen my father cry. I stood frozen in the doorway as the weight of his sorrow over the loss of Zille filled the room like a heavy fog. Dream? A reminisce? Combination of the two? Good afternoon, Your Majesty. I'm glad you could join us. Lucita's words snapped me out of my memories and back to reality. Upon entering my council room, I found Titus and Lucita awaiting my arrival. They promptly rose from their seats when they noticed me. I was here to receive the latest updates on the situation in Zille. Ah, yes. Always a pleasure to be here, we say, probably slightly lying. It's work, after all. Unless you're a workaholic and love it. Love your job. What have you got for me? As you know, we're to go over the latest updates regarding the transfer of Zille to Rizian governance. But before we dive into that, I have important news to share. Due to your faith in and financial support of the Golden Guard, we have finally been able to identify who was behind the Friendship Day bombing. Oh. Hit me with it. Hit me with your rhythm stick. Yes, that is good news. Please go on, I want to hear all about it. We took a seat around the table. Titus handed each of us a large file, its contents nearly overflowing. While surveilling Quintus Gawker, the Su Omina member linked to Terra Growth Agrochem, we discovered a mundane connection. One evening, a Rizian operative engaged Gawker in casual conversation over drinks at a local tavern in Isa. To our surprise, he unwittingly confessed to being blackmailed over an affair with a Bluedish migrant from Valen. Okay, I'm listening. The blackmailer threatened to expose the affair unless Gawker provided him with a specific fertilizer, which had yet to be put on the market. It goes without saying that given Sue Omena's strong dislike for the blues, this posed a significant dilemma for him. And it just so happens that the residue found at the bombing site matches the materials produced at Terra Growth Agrochem. Yes, I thought as much. And the blackmailer? After thorough investigation, we identified the culprit as an intelligence operative named Alexei Radovich from Lesbia. Now, that's something that we did not anticipate hearing. What? Lesbia? His revelation sent a chill down my spine. For years he has been stationed at their consulate in Zille, officially holding the position of a political officer. A cover, of course. He has diplomatic immunity, so we've been unable to bring him in for questioning. However, this evidence gives us serious reason to believe that Lesbia was involved in arranging the Zille incident. I suppose it shouldn't be a massive shock. Of course, the whole gas field thing, trying to destabilise us a bit, makes sense. I'm sure it was mentioned way back at the outset as one of the possibilities. So how shocked should we be? But this does pose a significant problem given how much we have been working together with Lesbia, not just on the situation with the gas field, but also the situation with the gold, what's it called? The MITS stuff. Oh, what do we do with this news? Yeah, a hush fell over the room as everyone absorbed this news. This changes everything. I'm afraid so. Why am I not surprised? We are a little bit, but let's not act it. Font of all knowledge, keeping all options open, the all-seeing king and all that. Goes without saying that the implications are deeply concerning, given our stance with Lesbia recently. That's why I needed to tell you about this at once, regarding why they would do such a thing. If I were to venture a guess, I'd say the bombing was meant to sow discord between Rizia and Valen as a means of destabilization. Alvarez. That sneak. I should have known he couldn't be trusted. Rosita nodded. The question now is what impact this will have on Zille's reunification, not to mention our relations with Lesbia. Due to our intelligence sharing agreement with Valen, the evidence against Lesbia will be made public to them. This is also bad news because we're quite close with Lesbia right now, so if we release that news and he gets wind of that, is he going to suggest that we were cozying up to Lesbia and we still had a hand to play in this? I don't like either of these two, so we'll have to go with this one. In other words, we lost control of the narrative. It would have been nice to have more time to figure out how to release the information, but we will handle it accordingly. Now, Whalen will be forced to give Zille back after the evidence gets out, right? This has nothing to do with us. It's not going to be as simple, is it? Here is where we are regarding progress on Zille's return, Your Majesty. I can only speak with authority about the security-related terms of your agreement. I believe we are on track to meet the terms set in our agreement 3 years ago, but you would know best. Going public with the Lesbia evidence will be good insurance, even if it is not strictly needed. With all that in mind, I suggest discussing our contingency plan for getting Zille back should our agreement fail. Yes, contingency would be good. Agreed. Let's explore our options. The way I see it, we could either approach this diplomatically or, if necessary, take a more aggressive stance. Diplomacy first, thank you. We don't have the means to go aggressive right now. We have a military that has been invested in to the tune of 0, unless you count our battleships and submarines, which we sold, by the way. While we don't have a lot of options, we could continue supporting ATA. Furthering the advocacy for Rizian values and culture could rally public support for a reunification referendum. Yeah, I think we've supported the ATA completely and wholeheartedly throughout this campaign, so we should continue down that vein, I think. I think we could make some very good gains there. People tend to value having a say in shaping their own destiny. Yes, I think that's a good idea. And let's not forget our recently built foreign intelligence hub. Activating the Rizian agents there could prove decisive in swaying public sentiment. Dual-pronged approach, I like it. Yes, but they're still relatively new. We need to carefully assess their effectiveness before deploying them extensively. Yes, okay. We should keep all options available. I haven't put them there as an ornament. They are there to be used at a time of need. Any other possibilities? While the Crown's relationship with Su-Omana isn't great, to put it mildly, I still see a potential for collaboration. By framing this as a strategic partnership, we could show them how our goals align with theirs, stability and prosperity for Zille. Offering financial incentives could also sweeten the deal, ensuring they see the benefits of joining forces. In short, they'd bolstered their influence and we gain a powerful ally. That said, it's worth noting that their methods are extreme and could risk backfiring, turning the public against us. Yes, I think we should tread carefully when it comes to all things Su-Omana, if I'm being honest. Agreed. The drawbacks might outweigh the benefits. Anyway, in conclusion, you'll be pleased to know that the momentum behind Zille's reunification continues to grow at a steady pace. And as for the armed resistance movement, it's steadily gaining momentum, albeit at a modest pace, in support of Rizia's reunification endeavours. Good. Thank you. Do you have any thoughts so far, particularly regarding the presence of ATA or Su-Omana in Zille? Yes. I don't think... No, I'm not touching Su-Omana with a barge pole. If it's to our detriment, so be it. We'll continue with the funding for the ATA. Their efforts have indeed proven instrumental. That is as much as we're willing to invest in right now. Yes, Your Majesty. However, I feel relying solely on the ATA may not suffice to meet our goals. If we still don't get Zille back after we've pumped in this much into the ATA, the spy hub, so, you know, the oil agreement with our sister-in-law, you're kidding me? That just because we didn't fund Su-Omana, it was game over? Come on now. Let's not hope that's the case. Yes, thank you both for your assessments, Titus. Outstanding work on the bombing investigation. I'm glad I could be of service. With the meeting adjourned, Titus and Lucita saw themselves out. As the doors closed behind them, I sank into my chair, my mind heavy with the weight of the discussions. The pressure to get Zille back loomed large, and I was left to grapple with the intricacies of the diplomatic landscape that lay ahead. So we have solved it. Case closed. Strong women's rights update. Look at that. We've got another green in our law situations. No? Was that our welfare situations? No. That's probably our order situations. No? No. Economy situation? Diplomacy situation. Where the flipping hell was it? What's the green there? Must be law, right? Oh yeah, strong women's rights. There we go. Weak human rights. Maybe that'll improve with the we've done. I think the human rights is weak because of the workers' rights. If we were to enact the workers' rights, this would definitely change. It might change to orange, given the homosexuality legalisation. We'll see. We're making positive gains, slowly but surely. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I mean? So why should Rizia be any different? Anticipation and anxiety mount as Zille's transfer of governance nears. With the imminent transfer of governance from Valen to Rizia slated to occur, anticipation and trepidation over Zille's return mounts. The prospect of Rizia reclaiming control has stirred excitement among citizens, eager for renewed sovereignty after Valen's extended stewardship of the territory in the aftermath of the Friendship Day bombing. However, lingering uncertainties about the transition process has fueled anxiety. While diplomatic assurances offer comfort to many, some critics accuse President Smolak of exploiting the tragedy, using it as justification to maintain Valen's control over Zille, raising concerns about the true intentions of Valen's leadership in the region. Despite these concerns, the focus remains on the forthcoming transfer of governance back to Rizia and the diplomatic efforts to ensure smooth transition. Look at that. Rizia implicates Lesbia in Zille bombing. Serious allegations. I wonder if this might just push Lesbia into cozying up with Sultana of Mirella now, and we kind of have lost that tie to the Mitts. With obviously, how can we work with them after this? He might distance himself from Quintus Gorka, kind of maybe calling him a rogue agent or something. He's not commented yet. Ooh, he's waiting for all available facts. Yes, you better get your facts straight, pal. That's what I'm saying. Right, Monteclar. Bank robbery. Millenniavist group seizes tens of thousands of Rizian guilders, as well as gold bars, have been seized in a violent assault on a bank on the outskirts of Monteclar. The attackers drew guns at the bank employees, shot dead one guard, and injured 2 police officers, before vanishing into the surrounding mountains with their truck. Given the red armbands worn by the attackers as well as a bank employee overhearing the stolen assets would be redistributed, it is likely that the robbers had millenniavist intentions or aspirations. That's not good. Ooh. Nobles continue to increase rents despite regulation. Ooh, that's in our home region too. That's not a good look, is it? Right, Lesbia. Diplomatic meeting with oh boy. Okay, diplomatic meeting with Lesbia. This is going to be a big one. Are we going to have any tolerance, patience with this to listen to their lies and backtracking as a result of being found with their finger in the cookie jar? Let's see. When we arrived... Well, this music doesn't set a good tone, does it? When we arrived in Perla, the press surged forward at me like a relentless horde, shoving their cameras and microphones my way. Their shouts and pleas for attention clashed with the stoic demeanour of the lesbian security guards. These guards, clad in crisp, dark uniforms, formed a protective barrier around us, their eyes scanning for any reporter daring enough to breach their formation. Our convoy commenced its journey, a series of sleek black cars gliding through the lesbian capital's bustling streets. We eased to a stop at the entrance of the yellow house. I stepped out onto the cobblestone driveway. The building itself was a small but imposing structure of classical design, its yellow painted walls standing out boldly against the greenery of the park. I was led into the waiting room, a space with an understated elegance, furnished with leather chairs and a mahogany table. Sunlight filtered through lace curtains, casting soft patterns on the floor. As I waited for Prime Minister Alvarez, my attention was captured by a mysterious-looking teapot, resplendent in its golden sheen. Is this a bit of a Easter egg to the Sawdish playthrough? Because we had exactly the same situation about this teapot. We touched it and it smashed when we were President Raid, if you remember. I think we'll leave it alone and learn our lesson. Don't touch other people's pottery, especially if you're clumsy. I left it alone. As I stood there, absorbed in thought, the doors opened and Prime Minister Alvarez came in. Ah! I see you immediately spotted your kingdom's gold, Your Majesty. It is an ancient Resinid artifact uncovered in southern Lesbia. Quite a valuable item, I've been told. Ah, forgive me. He offered his hand and I shook it. Please, let's get comfortable while we discuss our matters. On his gesture, we moved to the sofas and sat down. So, Your Majesty, I must say nobody in my government supports this visit. You have already spread lies about our involvement in Zille and acted quite antagonistically against us. My government believes Rizia is getting increasingly hostile and starting to pose a threat to stability in southern Makopa. Wow, did not expect to get kicked off with you putting the blame right back on our toes. Righty-ho, sorry about that, just had to have a brief interlude for breakfast. Nice sausage and egg sandwich with orange Kit Kat for afters. I don't know about you guys, but if I have like a fried breakfast or something like a sausagey, bacony kind of breakfast, because of all the salt that usually accompanies these kind of foods, I always have to have something sweet afterwards. Whether it's just one biscuit, a bite of a biscuit, something sweet just to take that saltiness away. Washed down, of course, with a good old cup of Earl Grey tea, drunk out of my Pathfinder Kidmaker mug. Now there's a blast from the past, eh? What a cracking game that was. I'm looking forward to playing the the second one at some point. Anyway, back to the game. We're gonna continue to play it like the smiling diplomatic assassin that we have turned out to be, in my own mind's eye. Play it's all smiles and kindness until we need to be firmer and make a decision. They can believe what they want, Mr. Alvarez, but since you have been so kind as to invite us here, I assume you must have a different belief. Perhaps. Why did Rizia publish this so-called evidence? You did not even have a dialogue with me about it until now. Does Rizia really want to make an enemy of Lesbia, Your Majesty? You cannot threaten me, Mr. Alvarez. I don't think Lesbia care about that, quite frankly. Rizia was not behind the explosion, Mr. Alvarez. It's between 1 and 4 for me. Do we believe in cooperation? I believe in retribution. I believe in revenge, but no, that's me personally, you know. Kingdom-wise, how are we going to get revenge? They're backed by the ATO, you know, they're quite a rich nation, quite a big, powerful country. Clearly going to war with them is going to be catastrophically bad. You know, that they still actually... I know we've got this agreement about the gas, but... you know, ultimately they do still have a little bit of a say there. Could they cancel that arrangement? All this kind of jazz. I mean, ultimately, no. We still believe in cooperation. It's painful, but hey, we don't want to upset the boat here. Rock the boat. Well, my government doesn't. Just to be clear, there cannot be any cooperation with Rizia after this. This is out of my hands now, Your Majesty. The sentiment in the Lesbian Parliament is now very anti-Rizian, as you might expect. Oh. It's going to be difficult to continue to be kind and smiley in the face of all of this, but hey, I suppose we shall be the bigger man. We won't snap, we won't bite, we won't give any further reason for excuse for anything bad to happen here, so we'll maintain our composure. He's saying it's out of his hands, so... Doesn't make it any easier to make a decision when this music is playing, does it? Right. Don't change the topic. I'm here to discuss your involvement. So yeah, do you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. Clearly he's going to deny it, but hey, you know, we don't really appreciate the way that he's trying to spin this as if it's our fault. There can be no cooperation. Oh, how dare you? How dare us? The evidence is damning, mate. Should be for you to be justifying what's going on to me. I'm fuming here. I can just imagine sat there seething, trying to maintain composure, maintain calm, breathe. Okay, so you claim you already know. What is it do you still want to hear from me? This is an extremely major incident, Mr. Alvarez. You cannot simply play ignorant. Rizia wants to see action from Lesbia, not the other way around. I refuse to accept any responsibility. You should have never published that investigation. If you're here to blackmail Lesbia, we should end the meeting already. I'm not going to announce anything or pay Rizia a single cent. I just don't understand why you do anything like this while our relations between our countries has been getting better. I'll be blunt. We are in a breaking point of Lesbian-Rizian relations, and my people are now supportive of more aggressive policies against Rizia. What are you talking about? We know that Lesbia is responsible. You committed an act of terror. You'd better cooperate. I've heard the public opinion is now against you. You sure you can get elected again? Oh, I'm quite tempted by that one, actually. I mean, I don't know how he's heard that, but clearly we've come armed with some information here, possibly, which would make sense. Why would you come without doing your homework? Does he strike me as a man? He does strike me as a man that would be quite willing to grab onto power rather than focus on the good of his people. It's a toss-up between those two. Do you know what? I'm kind of gonna. He's riled us a bit. He's riled us a bit. So you know, we're sitting here playing it with a straight bat, playing it all very neutral and calm. We're gonna just up the ante a touch, I think, now at this point. Let's just test the waters. Don't threaten me, pal. In fact, you better start cooperating, because I've heard the public opinion is now against you. You sure you can get elected again? Was this a personal triumph for you, Mr. Taurus? You should know that your little tricks did not gain you any sympathy in Lesbia. If I lose the next elections, you'll be dealing with someone who clearly opposes your regime in its entirety. I wonder what you'll think of me then. He stood up. I'm sorry you came all the way for this, but I believe we are done here. Let's just call the meeting here. Yes, let's. Oh no, do you know what? Goodbye, Mr. Alvarez. Have a good day. I stood up and walked out of the room with quick steps. Quick steps? That was a productive meeting. Not. Right. Port Drazen, council meeting. We need to come up with a plan here. This is bad news. As soon as we arrive, we're straight into the council meeting. Meeting, come on, meeting, urgent meeting here. Urgent. Big blazing klaxon sounding. I passed through the palace garden toward the council chambers to meet with the council. Uncle Hugo greeted me in front of the doors. Your Majesty, the councillors are waiting for you. He opened the door and held it for me as I entered. The councillors were already seated around the table, deep in conversation. When they saw us entering, they immediately rose and bowed. Good day, everybody. Oh, in the name of Ruhek, I didn't see that one. Was that an option for a prayer? I'd have taken that. My councillors nodded and took their seats. Before we begin, I want to extend my blessings for the upcoming royal marriage. Congratulations, Your Highness. May God bless the union between you and Duke Reinhard. Thank you, Grand Wiseman. She smiled and bowed her head to Sal in respect. Your Majesty, may I? I nodded. I'll start with an overview of some recent reports that have been published by the AN. I am proud to relay that living standards have increased significantly over the course of His Majesty's reign. Way! The majority of Rizians are quite happy with how things are going. Woohoo! Oh, it makes me smile. There are also concerns from Labour leaders who seem to be attempting to incite strikes among the underclasses. Yes, about that. I'm still thinking that at some point we need to reverse those laws. Should we? Rusty always did say if we were to do that, there was going to be a backlash. They're like, we've done everything. We've done a lot of welfare stuff. Equal pay. Do we do it? Do we do it? I can't see how we can't do it. It's the last thing. It's really the last major thing to get us on a proper kind of human rights even keel, really, I would say. I just want better working conditions, mate. Like, oh, is it too much to ask? Is it too much? I don't know, is it? Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. We'll see. We'll see how I feel at the end of the next turn. Thank you, Your Grace, for sharing this information with us. While I can acknowledge the problematic conditions within our industries, we should not stretch ourselves thin in order to satisfy worker demands. Yes, please explain further, Miss Werner. I'm sad to say that Rizian businesses do not hold the Crown in high esteem at the moment. Yeah, we haven't given them stimulus checks and all the kind of, business credits, tax credits. We haven't given them anything to do with any of those. Right, okay. Bringing up those worker concerns would only upset them further, and I'd rather not open that can of worms. Okay. I appreciate your counsel, Miss Willer. Let's move on now, shall we? Okay, so let's not upset that apple cart then. Just leave things as a status quo when it comes to all things business and workers. Let's not upset that apple cart too late in the piece. Moving on. Oh, okay. Individual briefings. Right, fine. Lamento. Foreign Affairs. What's going on in that space? Oh, of course, Your Majesty. We are slowly normalising our relations with Lesbia. Your meeting with Prime Minister Alvarez was very helpful. Was it? Didn't feel very helpful. Lesbia is an important partner and a potential threat. We must tread carefully with them. Another important point is our scheduled meeting with the Wesek President. Oh. Your Majesty will have the chance to talk to President Smolak about the situation with Zille. He may bring up yet another unexpected request or security issue. Regardless of his theatrics, we should do our best to reach a final resolution to ensure the swift return of Zille. If all else fails, we can bring it up at the upcoming Alliance of Nations session. All means are to be considered to get Zille back. This has rumbled on for far too long. We will get it back, Your Majesty. On the other hand, our relations with our southern neighbours are still not very positive. Our stance on the Mitts seems to have alienated them. Unfortunately, Chancellor Hegel seems to have enormous influence on Prime Minister Sultana. Yes, I couldn't care less. I will not let them toy with our national interests. Our relations with Derry, on the other hand, have not changed much since your meeting with Grand Wiseman Asmal. Their disputes with Morella and Wayland still remain a major concern. He stopped for a moment to take a look at his notes. Oh, and also Supreme Wiseman Asmal sent us a letter of condemnation, criticising what he calls our continued oppression against Golcondists in Rizia. And the PS section of the letter we discovered a Golcondist curse. What did it say? He checked his notes. May you perish from natural causes, never knowing the holy fire of martyrdom. Not much of a curse, if you ask me. And last but not least, parley. But your Majesty is already aware of the situation with Duke Reinhardt. The royal wedding shall take place after your upcoming visit to the Alliance of Nations. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Her Highness and His Majesty once again. Another hurried round of congratulations from everyone at the table followed. Thank you very much, Mr. Escobel. Duke Reinhardt, Axel, and I have been speaking on the phone about the arrangements. I know he is very open to the idea of Rizian-Parlesian reunification. It's very good to hear, Your Highness. We will have to wait until after the wedding to proceed with reunification talks, but I'm expecting the process to go smoothly. Thank you for laying the groundwork, Your Highness. Duke Reinhardt is a lucky man indeed. Vina blushed. Lamento bowed his head respectfully before continuing. So far, the Pale Stream pipeline has been very beneficial for both of our countries. It is a remarkable achievement. We struck a serious blow to Lesbia's interest in parley by decreasing their reliance on them and opening their way into grace. Our support of their application has already been approved by the other member states. Send my congratulations to Duke Reinhardt. Yes, Your Majesty. That is all for the overview. Anything else you want to talk about, Your Majesty? Yes. What's happening with the Rizian economy? It's overflowing, I suppose. Elena took out her ledger. As already mentioned, living standards in Rizia are in a very healthy position as a result of a combination of economic policies. We have a very significant amount of money flowing into our economy. This is a great indicator for the future. We also have enough funds in reserve that we can begin planning more ambitious projects. She turned a page. When you ascended the throne, we agreed to focus on a mixed approach for the Rizian economy, balancing resources and other industries. Currently, we have a very rigid energy economy with heavy reliance on certain sources. Our future is looking strong, as long as access to those resources remains. Unfortunately, we are still only seeing average production capacity. This is something to work on. But this is still good news. Thank you for your contributions, Miss Werner. As for our business climate, with the current wave of robust economic growth, buoyed by market incentives to attract fresh investments, we are witnessing the formation of thousands of new businesses. Jobs are being created, employment rates are skyrocketing. It is a good time to be an entrepreneur in Rizia. We couldn't have done it without your help, Miss Werner. You should be proud. Oh, you're too modest, Your Majesty. You had the final say on all of those decisions. She closed her book. That's it for the economy. Anything else? Military? I think I've had enough. Don't you? Lucita sat there eager to talk. Oh, we need more investment. We need more. No, it's fine, military. We don't need anything. No, thank you. I've had enough. Bit tired today. Time to go and sip on some tea, I think. I've got a royal wedding to plan for, after all. I feel really bad. Could just picture Lucita's face drop as we didn't ask about military. What about me? You are under suspicion, love, alright? Thank you for everyone's input. Well, almost everyone's input. We can call this session over. The councillors bowed their heads in respect. As they left, I went back to the gardens of the palace to get some fresh air. As I rounded a curve in the path, the garden revealed itself in all its splendour. Manicured hedges surrounded patches of blooming flowers with ornate lamps on wrought iron posts, shedding light over the twisting cobblestone walkways. It was a stark contrast to the austere council chambers I had just left. Just as I started to relax, I caught the faint sound of footsteps. When I turned to look, I saw Grand Wiseman Ignatius emerging from the shadow of an ancient oak. Your Majesty, may I have a word with you, please? Certainly, Grand Wiseman. It pertains to our earlier discussions regarding the role of religion in Rizia. I can't stop thinking about the vision you and I shared. We began our leisurely stroll through the garden. No matter what my reasoning, always leads me to the same conclusion. A governance rooted in faith, one that embraces God's law above the laws of men, is not just the best choice, but the only way forward for Rizia. A theocracy. A divine takeover. Exactly, Your Majesty. With our current laws, we have an excellent foundation for such a transformation. Your faith-based decrees have paved the way for a prosperous future, and now we stand before a threshold to a new era with you holding the keys. All that's needed is for you to open it and lead your people through. I can see it clearly now, Your Majesty, that the Almighty sent you here for a reason, as was foretold. Yes, my faith assures me as well. I never doubted it for a moment. Sal motioned towards a secluded corner of the garden, nestled beneath a tree. His voice softened to a whisper as we approached. There is another matter I wish to address with you. The significance of our religious laws cannot be overstated. However, they mark the beginning, not the end of our story. The clergy commands considerable authority within Rizia's Ruhasist community, extending their reach even into institutions like the military. If we were to unite them, an army of God, if you will, such a coalition would bolster the Crown's authority like never before. Let us support the faithful in their struggle to reach Golconda by reviving an ancient religious order. The Ruhex Guardians. The faith militant, is it? Spiritual warriors composed of the most faithful, whose sworn duty would be to ensure that the laws of God are upheld and your authority isn't challenged. Yes. Hallelujah. So what say you, Your Majesty? Do I have your blessing to pursue this holy endeavour? Yes, you have my blessing to allocate Crown resources to resurrect the Ruhex Guardians from the annals of history. By the grace of the Divine, thank you, Your Majesty. I will get to work immediately and reach out soon. May the Divine God guide us. Haleta. See you later, Haleta. The Gun Wise Man offered one final bow before departing. I lingered in the garden for a while in silence. Wow. Sectarian religious violence. Oh dear. High severity surge in sectarian violence. Oh my god. The Ruhex Guardians. Yes. Look at this. This might be bad. No, great living standards. Economy flourishing. Rising new business. Oh. Let's forget about the religious unrest right now. Brona's bustling with economic activity. Yes, look at that. Hundreds of new businesses springing up across town. Look at that. Look at this. This is great news. Ruhex Guardians to uphold religious virtues. King Romus has authorized the formation of Ruhex Guardians, a new security organization that will be tasked with upholding Ruhasist values within the kingdom, their loyalty only being to the king and the divine. Overseen by Sal Ignatius. Only the most devout are allowed within its ranks. There you go. This is the thousands of new businesses. Economy's never been healthier. Oh, yes. Music to our ears. Abolish the House of... Oh! Why caramba? +5 to authority. We went for absolute monarchy, right? Oh no. We went for absolute monarchy, right? Oh. This is a massive decision, right? This is going to completely alienate the people. But we've given the people good living standards, so maybe they can see that we don't need this House of Delegates because I clearly know what I'm doing, right? This is a major, major, major decision. +5 to our authority. It's only a ceremonial body at the end of the day. So let's picture this. We've got this great kingdom flourishing, money flowing out of every orifice right now. Living standards have improved. They're going to start turning it into a religious state. We've got this great, religious movement going. It's going to become a very religious heavy kingdom. I suppose abolish. Yeah, that's completely and utterly in the hands of me as the one true king and the divine king at that. Almost like the glow of the sun shining on my face should be shining on our king's face right now. This all-seeing. I don't need a council of delegates, a house of delegates. I am the divine one, the second coming, and I just need to be able to do what I need to do without any issue, without any red tape bureaucracy. I know what I'm doing. Clearly I'm running this country efficiently. Trust in me, just in me. Happy days. You know what? Let's try it. Oh, God. Maida says it's not going to be happy. Oh, House of Delegates has been... Oh, everything's gone a bit awry here. As the former majority leader... Former, because there is no more. Maida says them. What's happened to him? And, yeah, it was the leader until the abolishment of the House of Delegates. Yeah, he's had the rug pulled from his feet. Goodbye Vina, goodbye RPP, everything gone. Manus, leave it with you, kidder. You're a powerless nobody right now. See ya. I've got a feeling it's going to bite us in the backside, but hey, you never know. Right, spontaneous protests. A small gathering, just a small, nothing major, small gathering. About several hundred people. We will return! Yes. Will you? I look forward to seeing it. Where's the connections? Organisations, governmental, House of Delegates. Disbanded, done, dusted. It's all about me. All about me. We're an absolutist monarchy! That was the goal! Look at that. I am in charge round here. Wasteful House of Delegates no more. King Romus has abolished the House of Delegates at last, getting rid of the wasteful institution that only drained taxpayer money by providing generous wages, including to opponents of the monarchy. With the obstructing institution out of the way, finally the king can focus on his real task, like bringing greatness to our golden country. And if you haven't seen the fruits of my labours already, then you're blind as bats, because you can clearly see I know what I'm doing. Should we give... Maybe we should provide something as a result of this. I don't know. Should we provide something? Energy subsidies for industries. No, that's going to be... Ooh, that's a very popular one. -3, but we can't afford that, unfortunately. If it was a bit less, if it was like -1, maybe we could have done that, actually, but no. Tax credits for businesses. That's only 1 energy and 2 budget per turn. It's getting down there now, isn't it? We're kind of stripping away from the budget per turn. Can't afford to be too... Again, this is another popular one. But we've just been told that businesses are booming, so let's not go too whole hog. Stimulus checks. It's just flat budget, flat authority. Could kind of maybe use this as a bit of a distraction technique. We're going to kind of take away the House of Delegates. A few people are like, oh my god, the king doesn't care about the people. He's oh my heart. Here you go, have some money. Very good, yeah. Power to the king, power to the king. Bit of distraction. What do you reckon? Rejuvenation. Now that these RPP are no longer a part of the delegates because the House of Delegates is gone, we might consider their proposals now and palm them off as our own. There was an RPP. Well, who's the RPP? I don't know what we're talking about. No, this is all my doing. My idea. Yeah, I think at the end turn phase, obviously, we might actually do this one. Use it as a bit of a distraction technique, a bit of a sweetener, hopefully, so that the people see us in a good light. You know, just if in doubt, just splash a bit of money about. People will be more than happy. Oh, power to the king! Look at that. We've got more cash in our pocket. Get people spending in those businesses that are cropping up. You know, just get that economy stimulated. I think that's a good one. I think we might do that. I think we will do that, in fact, next turn. One-time government stimulus checks. Yeah, we'll use that as a bit of a bribe, a bit of distraction, bit bribery. Shh. There, protesters, have some cash. Reminds me of the scene in Batman when the Joker's throwing money about from the floats, you know. We're stood there on the podium, guilders flying, Rizian guilders flying all over the place. Big bag, and we're just kind of throwing out cash. Come on, people. Free giveaway here. Money growing on trees around here, it seems. Any of these? Not interested. Free press? No. I like the press as it currently is, thank you. This is the big one, though. Still can't bring myself to do it. We talked about maybe building some stuff. So is there anything in here, really? That we can build? Industrial park. More jobs. Energy per turn, quite improved Parley logistics hub. No, we don't need to do any of that now. Consumer industry park could be interesting. But this will improve living standards upon completion. It's only 1 energy per turn. It's about 2 turns. 2 budget, 2 authority. It's not that bad, is it? I think this could be a good one too. I think maybe in the end of the next turn phase we'll try to get this built. Although it might be a bit late. I don't know how many turns are left, but you never know. We can get this done. Bit of industrial park, economic growth, innovation. It does foster stronger ties with House Sazin, which is only because it's in Salabez, but we didn't want to really put money into anything to do with Salabez, actually, in hindsight. Maybe not. Nothing here's jumping out, you see. No. Okay, so I'm thinking next turn, end turn phase, we'll go for the stimulus checks. I think that hopefully will get people on our side. Is this the AN meeting? This is negotiations with. There's nothing to negotiate, Smollett. You're not getting anything else from me now. This game, this dance has gone on for long enough. Zille will be handed over to us, and it will be handed over in line with our original agreement. At this point, we ain't taking no for an answer. We feel like we have the upper hand now. We have got to the bottom of the investigation of the bombing. We've got these other things in play with the ATA, with Rumberg on our side. Your standing in the wider community is through the floor. There is no further leverage that you've got to hold on to Zille for any longer at this point. Is the only way I see it, but we'll see. Anyway, this session will be about an hour, just over an hour, because I took a bit of time to eat my breakfast. But this looks like something that needs to be kicked off at the start of a new session, because it's going to be an interesting conversation. There might be some decisions that we have to make. So in the next one, we head once again back to Valen for further negotiations with Victor Smolak, and hopefully at the end of this, Zille will be well and truly on the way to being repatriated with the glorious Holy Kingdom of Rizia. Let's see if it happens. Until then, though, have a good one, enjoy your weekend, and until next time, I'll see you soon.